Hello. All right. So I guess we are live. All right. So hey everyone, this is me Harshal Jain, aka Viraj, and welcome back to another video of our JS project series. So today's video is a really special video for beginners as well as some of you might be struggling with the nav bars. And you might be wondering that how a responsive navbar is created. Suppose for an example, on your screen you might be seeing that this is a very simple navbar. Okay, it has a logo and home, about, services, contact. So I have made a simple navbar and just see the magic. Suppose you want to view this in mobile, you can see that same navbar is in mobile with this nav. You can say this as a hamburger icon. Okay, so this is also called as a hamburger icon, hamburger menu. So that's not that burger, but yeah, we often call it as hamburger. So you can see that in the mobile view, it became a hamburger. Just a minute, guys. Okay, please give me a confirmation in live chat so that we can continue. I guess there must be no issue with the live stream, but please, I want a confirmation. All right. So now we can continue. And yes, so what I was telling is in the mobile view, you can see that is in the it's in the responsive view. Suppose I want the website to be viewed in iPhone. So this is iPhone XR, and you can see that the navbar is looking awesome in that. Okay, so suppose if I make it in responsive view, and you can see that in mobile, it will look like this. If I enlarge this one, you can see that yeah, now the contents are normal. So that's the magic of JavaScript. We can apply this logic with JavaScript. When the screen is, suppose I have chosen a screen of 1000, when the screen will go below 1000 pixels, then you can see that this hamburger menu. Else the screen, if the screen is greater than screen size, screen width is greater than 1000 pixel, you'll see these items: home, about, services, and contact in this view. And when it's below 1000, width is below 1000, you will see them in this order. Okay, so how will this be done? So this is a really simple type of navbar. There are many more advanced navbars. If I give an example, before continuing, I wanted to show you something. In the description, you'll find a link named as Full Stack Bootcamp course. So you'll find a text: project building sessions coming up. Register to our Full Stack Bootcamp course for free, and you'll find a link. So just go to that link, and it will land you to this page. Okay, so I'll take you to this page. It will land you up to this page, and this is basically a free Full Stack Bootcamp course. And just enroll for this one. Me and other mentors are taking sessions in this full stack bootcamp course. So basically it's a free course. You don't have to pay a single money for this one. And here you can see that we have separate kind of you can say skills that are required for full stack bootcamp. One is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, and Node.js, and MongoDB, etc, etc. So you can watch these are basically theory as well as video based material. And in the live section you will see that tomorrow, that is 21st January and 22nd January, we have two sessions. based on JavaScript weather app using weather API. So this will be hosted by me, and I'll teach you how to build a weather API app using JavaScript. Okay, so it will be two-part based project, and one will be on 21st, second will be on 22nd. The links will be shared here. Right now it's written upcoming, but the links will be shared here. And if you somehow aren't able to watch these sessions, you can check out these recordings also. Okay, so they will be Zoom based sessions, by the way. They won't be on YouTube, they will be Zoom based sessions. All right, so now we can continue. And one more thing, if you want the source code of this project or any of my projects, you can find that on my GitHub profile, https://github.com/virajj014. Okay, just type this URL in your browser, and then you can definitely uh, find this profile. Okay, so this is my GitHub profile. I've shared that on the live chat. After this, just visit the repositories section. In the repositories section, you can find that we have uh, all of my repositories. I'll upload the navbar also here, so I'll upload that when we are going to end this video. Okay, but till then we'll first build the project, and then we can upload that here. Okay, so you will find the source code in this repository. All right, so now we can continue, and our goal is to first create a simple navbar which will look like this. And if we inspect it in this view, you can see that we got a hamburger menu. Okay, so this is a responsive design, and it will be really help you to build a responsive design in anything. Like, I'm just talking about navbar, but this same logic can be used in other stacks, or if you want a responsive footer, similar designs. Okay, so similar logic can be applied with that also. But yeah, here you can see that we have a pretty good responsive navbar. If I click on this button, we have a menu. If I close this, we have this simple navbar. Okay, so yeah, that will be built, and let's start coding. So now I'll just simply create a new folder, and for that we can do one thing. I'll just uh I'll just name it as something like JS underscore navbar. Okay, so I'll name it as JS underscore navbar. Okay, so this is our navbar. I'll open it with VS Code. So just install VS Code if you haven't, and then you can see that we have our VS Code. So I'll just create a new file here, and I'll just name it as index.html. Okay, and we'll write this boilerplate. So this is a really good shortcut. If you don't know about this shortcut, just type this exclamation mark and hit enter. You can see that we got this. So this is a VS Code shortcut. If you don't know, now you know. So after this, let's test this. So I'll try navbar, and I'll open it with live server. So if you don't know what is live server is an extension which will give us live changes. So just type here live server. If you haven't installed, just type live server, and yeah, you will find this extension. Just install this one. Right now it's installed for me, so I won't do that again. Yeah, but install this extension, and you can use this live server extension. Just click open with live server, and then you are good to go. Yeah, so this is our navbar text which we have written, and it's working pretty fine. So I'll just split my screen so that you can see the changes in the meantime. And yes, I hope the code is visible. I'll just zoom it a little bit more, then we can continue. Yes, so I hope it's visible. And okay, now we can continue. So first of all, I want my GFG logo. So for that, I'll just do one thing. Can I copy this? To copy GFG logo, I want GFG logo. You can actually use any other GFG logo, but since Geeks4Geeks is a SVG formatted logo, that's why I'm using it. Okay, so I'm just using GFG logo, so I'll just copy its save this image. Okay, by the way, this is a SVG document, but you can also use a JPG type image or anything if you want. Okay, that's a simple HTML CSS kind of basic stuff for importing media. But yeah, that's how you can do that, and I'll just paste the SVG link here. Okay, so this is nothing, this is just a SVG formatted image, but if you get a JPEG or PNG, any kind of image will work. This is not necessary. All right, so I'll just split this again, and then first of all, let's import this. So I'll just give, suppose I am creating this in the header tag, and in header tag, I'll just create img tag, and I'll just give it a src, or instead of this I'll just copy paste the link which I have gotten for the svg. If you have a image, you'll directly import the image here. You'll write the src here, but since I have a src, I'll just copy the svg. I'll just copy this and I'll paste the svg right here. Okay, so svg are really easy to use, and if you have an svg image or icon, then very good. Okay, so yeah, we got our GFG logo, and instead of this SVG, you could have also imported an image. That's up to you. Okay, I got the SVG logo, that's why I'm using this one. All right, so let's first create the web view, then we'll jump to the mobile view. So for creating the web view, first of all, we will, I'll just remove this for right now. Okay, I was just testing. Then we can create a container. Okay, so in the container we can simply write div, and I'll just give it a class equals contain here. Okay, I'm just giving it a class named as container, and I'll just give it a class named as header. Okay, so inside this, first of all, we need our logo. And before moving forward, we will also create a division. Okay, we will also create a division. So in this division, I'll assign a few classes. The class name can be row. Okay, row class, and I want the align items class to be involved. Align items class, align items center class, and then justify dash content dash between class. Okay, so I have created three different class names, and we are going to style that later on. Then we want the logo. We want the logo in a division. So we will create a division for our logo, and you can paste your image or any kind of icon here. Right now we have a SVG formatted document. So I'll just copy this tag, SVG formatted tag, and then we have the logo here. Okay. So first we have the logo. Then we want the home, about these kind of labels. So for that, we will create a nav tag. Okay, and I'll just give it a class of nav also, class nav. Inside this we will create a ul list. Okay, ul list, ulli tags, and first tag can be the home, second can be about services, etc. So the home will obviously be a link, so write it inside the a tag. Okay, so similarly you can do the same for about, and I'll just close this one. Similarly, you can do the same for contact, and I'll just close this one. Similarly, you can do the same for suppose services or blogs, anything you want. Okay, so I have written four kind of links, and you can also add more links if you want. All right, so this is much for the HTML part, and that's the simple HTML which we are going to use for the navbar. Okay, so this is our simple navbar which is inside the header tag. And if you want to use this navbar, you can simply copy this code into your project wherever you are using this. Okay, and you can start writing from here. Suppose you want to give a heading, uh, my proj. Okay, so yeah, you can start writing from here. Anything if you want to add to after the navbar. Okay, any other thing on the body you can add to this, add from here. Okay, so this is our navbar. We can edit this one. So after this, I'm going to start the CSS part. So for the CSS part, first of all, I'm going to write the CSS here only, and then we can shift the CSS to another pages. So I'm going to choose a root color. Suppose right now I am giving it a white color, dash dash color color dash one. This is my variable name, color one. I have chosen a variable name, and I'll give it a white color, suppose. So for that, I can simply write 255 255 255. Okay, so this is white color, and I've chosen a random theme color. That's why you can change this to any other color. Suppose you can choose red out of it, but right now I'm just giving it a white color. Okay, so this variable can be called anywhere you like. So this is a very good practice. If you give variables, you can easily change colors from here only, from root only. Okay, so after this, I'll just give it a body, and in the body, I want a font family to be, suppose, font dash family to be apple. Okay, I'm obsessed with apple. That's why I'm using this font family. and I can also give it some background color, but right now I'm just choosing white color. Okay, white color. So yeah, this is much for the body. And then we also want one thing. You can see that we got some margin and padding at the top. So for changing this, we can simply write star and we can write M0 and P0. Okay, so yeah, that will work. And you can see that it does not have any space right now. You can see that the margin and padding which we have are gone. All right, so after this we will first of all we'll write the UL tag and we want the styling to be none. Okay, so we want the list style to be none. Okay, so it will actually remove all the dots if you have any dots. So list style can be none. All right, so list style can be none. So if you have any dots before the list, they will be gone with this logic. After this, we will target all of the A tags and we'll write text decoration as none because we right now we are having an underline. You can see that. So to remove that, we can write text decoration as none. Okay, and you can see that the underlines are gone. Then we can give the A tag color of, suppose I'm just giving it a black color. So we have the black color for these A tags. Okay, so these were the basics, and we can also style the container. Okay, so container is actually inside this one. You can see that we have the container, so we can write dot container container. Okay, container can be margin of auto, and then we can target the row. So row is this one, this class which we have created. Okay, so in this row class we can write display flex because we want these items to be in row. So we can write display flex, and you can see now they are in a row. And we can also write flex wrap as wrap. What does this do? If the elements go outside of the width of the whole page, then it will jump to the next line. Okay, so after this we can write the same for a line item center. We want everything to be in center. Okay, in this way to be in center. And after this, justify content between, or we can simply write dot justify content between, and we have given this property. So you can see that the space between is applied, and the objects are in left and right side. Okay, so we have the space in between because we only had two objects, that's why left and right side. If something was in between, it will be in center. Okay, but we only had two divisions. That is, the first division is this logo and the second one is nav. So one will go to the left side, the second one will go to the right side. If I had something like 2, you can see that 2 is always in center because space between. All right, so this simple logic is applied, and after this we'll apply header. Okay, so we'll apply the styling to header, header, and we'll give it a background color of theme color which we have chosen. Background color of, I'm just choosing a white color. That means the color one which I have chosen. So if I have selected, suppose I have selected this red, and if I save this, you can see that we got the red color. Okay, so that's why that's the theme color. After this, we can give it a padding. Right now I'm just giving it a red color, by the way. Okay, I'm just giving it a red color. Or suppose this black color, I'm just giving it a black color, and this A can be of white. Okay, so now we can style the header first, and what I want is I want them to be the padding to be 5 pixel first. I want the padding to be 5 pixel from each side. Then we can give it a line height also. So the line height can be 1.5, and we can also give them a box box shadow. And actually, it what does it do? It will actually now work with the white one, and I'll just change the A tag back to this black. Okay, so for box shadow, I actually want a line below this nav bar. So for that, I can simply write 0 pixel, 0 pixel, and 15 pixel, and I'll just choose a random color out of this. Okay, so this 0 is not required, you can just remove this. And one more thing, I want a little bit of darkish line, so you can see that we got a shadow in between. Okay, I hope it's visible, and you can see that we got a shadow in between, and now this will work. All right, so this is our header. This is our header, and now we can style later on. Sandeep Kumar support Sarji. Thanks, brother. Now we can carry on, and then we want everything to be in inline block. That is all the li. That is all the li. That means these li should be in inline block. That means they must only acquire the maximum space they require. Okay, so header dot, inside this we have the nav class, inside this we have the ul tag, inside this we have the li. Okay, so I've targeted the li, then I'll just write display inline block, and you can also give it a margin left. All right, so you can see that now they are in inline block. That means each is only requiring the space, maximum space which the word is taking. Okay, so you can see that home is taking this much space, so the li will be only of this much width. Okay, that's it. That's what the inline block does. And now we can continue. After this, we also want the a text to be specifically targeted. Okay, this is not important. If you skip this step, it will work, because if you skip this, it will work, definitely work. But if you want this to be here, or you can cut this, you can cut this, and instead of this I can write dot header. I want to target the a text present inside the li, so I can simply write ul li, and then we can apply the same logic. Okay, so I have targeted the a text present inside the li. Okay, so after this I can do one more thing. I can say that this is a display block, and we can give it a font size of 16 will work. 16 will work. And if you want everything to be in capital, then text transform capitalize. Okay, this won't work for this case, I guess. Chalo, let it be, it's not required. And then we can give it a color of we have given this a color of black, so instead of this black we can make it a little bit gray, so it will look a bit cooler. Okay, so I have given it a little bit of gray color, and you can definitely choose a more lighter color. Okay, so that's it, and we got the light gray color for these home, about, contact, and blog. Then what we need to do, we can give it a padding of suppose 10 pixel from top and bottom, and 0 from left and right. After this we can give it a font family. I guess it has taken the font family from this one. It has taken the font family, but if I have removed this, and let's see, yeah, it has taken the font family. So the a tag present inside this has taken font family apple one, but if you want to change, you can. We can also give it a font weight. Font weight of can be 600. Okay, so yeah, now you can see that we have a 600. And after this we can say that the page which is active must be of green color. Okay, or if you hover over this home, it must be of green color. So for that we can say that dot header dot nav ul li a dot active. Okay, if it is active, or we'll add the active class later on, by the way, we'll add the active class later on. Or if we are hovering over this, if we are hovering over this, so I'll just copy this again, copy this and paste it here. Then we can write hover. Okay, hover. If we hover over this, we want the color to be something geeks for geeks green color. Okay, so I can simply write 09 uh 009 C10. Okay, so this will be our green color. So you can see that if I hover over this, you can see that we got the green color. And right now we haven't provided the active class, that's why you won't see the active class. But yeah, it's working for the hover part. So yeah, after this we can continue, and then we will target. Then we will target what? We'll target the Navtoggler. We'll target the Navtoggler. So for that, I'll just create a simple Navtoggler, and I'll start with creating a division for that. So just come here and we will create a hamburger icon or a Navtoggler. You can call it anything. So for that, just come here and I'll write a button tag, and the class can be nav-toggler. Inside this we will create a simple span tag. Okay, just save this, and now come up here, and then we can target the Navtoggler. So first we are going to create the simple icon, Navtoggler icon. So for that we'll give it a height and width first, and I can simply write nav dash toggler toggler, and let's choose a height of suppose 34 pixel and width of suppose 34 pixels. So you think you can see that we got a box here. All right, so why is it coming up here? Because of space between of this header. Okay, so now we'll first style this, then later on we'll check the position. But yeah, now we have given the height and width. We can also give it a background color of white. You can see that now we have a background color, and border can be none. Border can be none, none. Okay, then we can give it a border radius of suppose 5 pixels. 5 pixel of border radius. Right now you might not be seeing that, so for visibility I'll just write box shadow as 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 15 pixel, and this much. Okay, so now you can see that we got this. Okay, so you can decrease it if you want, decrease the opacity if you want, so it will become lighter. But for more visibility I'm just giving it a more value. Okay, so it will be more visible. So after this, also by the way, you can also choose a lighter color if you want a lighter color. Right now I have picked back black color, but you can also choose a lighter color. You can see that we got a lighter color, but I'll just make it black so that it's visible. All right, so after that I want my cursor to be pointer, so I'll write cursor as pointer, and if I hover over this, the cursor will become a pointer. Okay, same over this one, so I'll write cursor as pointer. Okay, so yeah, now this will work. And after this, we can also give it a margin right of 15 pixel. Margin right of 15 pixel, it will be helpful when it's positioned perfectly. Okay, so when it will be in absolute right, it will have some margin in between from the right. That's why I've given margin right. So after this, I guess nothing is remaining, and we'll later on make its display as none, so it won't have any display. But right now I'm just going to style it first, then we'll change its display. All right, so let me just comment this out. It's not required right now. Now we are going to say that if I focus on this Navtoggler, okay, if I focus over this, if I have clicked this Navtoggler, then I'll focus on this. I'll just change my box shadow. Suppose box shadow can be something else. I have picked it. So if someone focuses over this nav toggler, if focus class is existing, then this fog shadow will be applied. So right now you can see that we have click. If you have clicked, you can see that right now it's focused. And let me just change this to somewhat dark color, so you can see. And if I click on this, you can see that the color changes a bit. Or we can do one more thing. We can give it a red color. All right, so if I click on this, you can see that we got a red color. Now right now we are focusing on that. Okay, so that's up to you. And if I can change this, I'll make a little bit of green so that it's more better to all right, so if I click over this, we got a little bit of green color. Okay, now I guess we can continue. And then I want to target my span, that is the line. Okay, we are going to create three lines. We are going to create three lines like this, three lines like this. You can see that we got three lines like this, and then we are going to make it a cross if I click over that. Okay, so for that, I can do one thing. First, we are going to make these three lines. First, we are going to make these three lines. So for that, I'll just target my span. I'll just target my span, and then we'll first give it a, suppose I'll just give it a background color of this green. Okay, and then we'll give it a height of 2 pixel, and width of suppose 20 pixel. Okay, so 20 pixel width and height. And right now I'm not able to see the span because let's see first. All right, so yeah, I have given this a width and height. And if I just refresh this, I'm not able to see this. Let's try it a few more stylings, and then I'll first give it a display block. Yeah, now I am able to see that. Okay, so you can see that we have this span, and then we can give it a margin of auto so that it will be in center. Okay, and then we'll give it a position as a relative because we are going to create two different spans, okay, above and below. So that's why first span will be relative and the remaining two other spans will be dependent on this span. Okay, so after this I am going to write transition as, suppose if I am clicking on that, you can see that we got this cross. So this is a smooth transition. For that we can simply write this transition property. Okay, so now it's time to create two other lines above and below. Okay, so for that we can say that we are going to target the span before and span after. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it, and I'll write after. Then we can say the content inside them will be blank because we are creating again two spans. Content inside these two spans will be blank. Position will be absolute. Okay, position will be absolute, and from left they will be 0 pixels, and from top they will be 0 pixels. And right now you won't see them because I'll first give it a background color of, suppose, hashtag this screen, and we can also give this a transition property again, transition property of all 03 is. Okay, and then after this let's style them. Okay, so right now you aren't able to see these because they are one above the other. So for viewing them we can do one thing. Let's copy this, and for before, suppose I am writing the transform property, it will shift by some value. Okay, it will shift in y-axis by some value. Suppose I have written 6 pixel. Okay, 6 pixel. Okay, right now it's not working. Why it's not working? I have given position absolute, width and height. Yeah, I also have to give a width and height also. So for that I'll just give it a width of 100%. Okay, 100%, that means it will take the width of this, width and height of this. Okay, so now you can see that we got that. Again we will do the same for after one. So I'll just copy this, and for after I'll just give it 6 pixel. Okay, before I have given minus pixel, minus 6, and after I'll have the 6 pixel. Okay, so it will shift by 6 pixel. Now you can see that we have all the threes. Okay, so these are actually created by this span. Okay, they are dependent on this span. If it has the width 10 pixel, then the span will also have the width 10 pixel. Okay, that's it. So yeah, we have created the three lines, and yeah, it will work. So after this we can again apply the same to focus. Okay, if I click on this, then it will be active. We'll add the active class. So right now I'm just leaving the active class. Right now I'm just leaving the active class. Okay, so let's first make its display as none. Okay, make its display as none. So we'll make its display as none, and then we'll add media properties like when to show this. Okay, so for showing this I'll simply write @media screen, and I'll provide max width is, suppose I am choosing 991 or 1000 or anything you want. Okay, so I want to show this Navtoggler at 991 pixel. Okay, 991 pixel. Then what to do? I'll simply write dot Navtoggler, and this will be display block. Okay, so now let's see that will it work or not. You can see that initially we aren't able to see that, but as soon as we reach 991, you can see that we have this. Okay, after this what do we need to do? We need to target the nav tag. Okay, so for targeting the nav tag, let's make it visible again first. All right, so yeah, we will target the nav tag. We'll target the nav tag inside this. I can write dot N Navtoggler. We have, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to target the nav tag inside this header. So we can simply write dot nav because I have created a class named as this. So I'll give it a width of 100% first, and after this I want the padding to be 0 if it has any padding. Okay, if it has any padding, it will be removed, and then I'll just give it a max height of 0 pixel. Okay, so yeah, now you can see that they are gone, and the height is taken, the minimum height is taken because the maximum height is made 0 pixel. Okay, and we can say that the overflow must be done, so we won't be able to see that. Okay, so now you can see that they are gone, and you can also add visibility as hidden, so it won't any take any space. All right, so after this you can also give it a transition, so when we are able to view the contents inside this hamburger, then the transition must be smooth. So yeah, you can apply this for, suppose I'm just increasing the time to be 0.5. Okay, so yeah, we have made it visible, and we have made this one hidden. After this, let's write the JavaScript first. Okay, so let's write the JavaScript, and I'll create my JavaScript in the script tag first. So now here comes the logic. When I click over this, that means I want to show my content. I want to show my links, home, about, contact, etc. Okay, so when I click over this, I want a function to be called in JavaScript. All right, so for that, let's first target let Navtoggler. Okay, nav toggler equals document dot query selector Navtoggler. Okay, you have targeted the Navtoggler ID. Yeah, you can see that we have targeted this Navtoggler button. Okay, so I want to actually call a function when I click over this button, so I can add an event listener or I can call the function here, it's up to you. So I'm just adding an event listener directly, so I can write Navtoggler. If Navtoggler is being clicked, then obviously the event will be called add event listener. Okay, add event listener, and if someone clicks over this button, clicks over the Navtoggler button, then simply a function will be called. All right, so I'll just simply name it as my nav toggle. Okay, this function will be called, and now we are going to create that function. So you can simply create that function by this function, and then we can write my nav toggler, my Navtoggler. Okay, I have written my Navtoggler. Then we can write this function, so I'll just print this hello first if we have called this, or I'll just give it an alert. Okay, alert. So if I click over this, you can see that we got an alert, that means this event is working fine. Okay, so after this what do we need to do? We need to add a class list that this nav that the navbar is active. If I have clicked this, I want to show my home, about, contact, etc. Okay, so for that, what can we do? We can simply write Navtoggler dot class list. You can use toggle to add class list. Okay, so for that we can use toggle property, and we can add a add a property named as active. Okay, we can add a class named as active. Okay, so what does this active do? It will actually make this hamburger as active, and this will indicate that we want to show the contents inside this hamburger. Okay, so this is very important, and we will also add a property to this nav. Okay, to this nav, that means this. Okay, this home, about, contacts, block, this container. Okay, previously we were adding a property to this whole, to this Navtoggler button, to hold this to hold Navtoggler button. You can see that we have created a Navtoggler button. The active property is added to this button. Okay, so first let's target this. Okay, since it's active, now we can manipulate with the CSS again. So I'll just copy this, and I'll say that if it has a active property, like suppose someone has clicked the button, then definitely it will have a active property. Okay, so I'll just click, say that after dot active. Okay, if both of them have active property, then I want them to be shown in a cross. Okay, shown in a cross. So for that, what can we do? We can say that rotate them by 45 degrees. Okay, rotate them by 45 degrees. If I want to rotate this, rotate by suppose 45 deg. Okay, and I can also rotate this by minus 45 degree trans. Okay, sorry, rotate by minus 45 deg. Okay, so now let's test this. If I click over this, if I click over this, you can see that nothing happens. Okay, I actually made a mistake. You don't need to add this active here. Instead, you have to add this active somewhere else inside this one, because we have added the property to this Navtoggler. Okay, that's why we need to add the active here. Okay, so now this will work, and if I save this, if I click over this, you can see that we got a cross. But now we are getting a line in between. That's because of the third line, which is always in between, and we have targeted the top and bottom line. So for the third one, we can simply say dot Navtoggler. Okay, we can simply say that if if the normal one is active, that means this one. If the normal one is active, I'll just copy this. If this is active, if this has active property, don't show it. Okay, so it will remove the line in between. So I'll just write this property here. I can say that if it has a active property dot active. Okay, so I'll just write display, or instead of this I can write background as transparent. Okay, so it will be there, but its background will be transparent. So now you can see that we have this cross. Okay, this cross, so and it's pretty smooth and it's in center. So now you can see that the button is working pretty fine. Now we have added the active property to this button and it's working fine. After this, we are going to show the content. So for that, I have targeted the content box which has the content, and then we will show them in a column. Previously we were having them in a row. Home about contact were in a row, you can see that. But now if I just make it bigger, you can see that they are in a row. Okay, but now when I click over this, I actually want them to be in a column like this. If I click on this, you can see that now we have a column. Okay, now we have a column. So how can we get that? We can simply get that by a simple another we can add that another class here. So I'll just add a class named as open. Okay, I'll just add a class as open. So if the class is open, I'll add another property. Okay, and also I'll say that if nav dot class list dot contains, if we have this class, if we have this contains, if we have this class open, open. All right, if I have this class, then I'll say nav max height can be scrollable height, which is required by those home about, etc. All right, so you can see that we have given the height as 0. We have given the height as 0, but as soon as I click this, okay, as soon as I click this nav will have a height. This nav will have a maximum height, and it will take the height required. Okay, so if I click on the side, now I'm not able to see that because it's not active. And I'll also say that else I'll remove the attribute, nav dot style, nav dot remove the attribute, remove the attribute, and then I'll remove the style attribute. Okay, I'll remove all the stylings if it does not contain open class. Okay, so after this, what can we do? We can simply apply this logic. So I have added the class list that contains open, and I can say that nav dot style dot max height equals nav dot scroll height. Okay, so now let's target this. I guess we have given the nav class. Okay, yeah, we have given the nav class and it has targeted this. Okay, so now let's see if it's working or not. For that, we are going to write the open class here. So for open class, I can simply say that if, you can also write it here or here, wherever you want. Okay, so I can say that if header dot nav has open class, then I'll say the visibility is visible. Okay, I'll save this, and if I click over this, I'm not able to see. Why am I not able to see this? Let's check if it's why it's not working. And one more thing, we'll first add the property to ul. So I can write header dot nav ul, and I can give it a padding of suppose 12 pixel, 15 pixel, and 0. Okay, and we can give it a margin top of suppose 12 pixel and border top of, I want this border top of this much. Okay. And also we want the li tag to have display blocks and margin 0. We want the li tags to have display block and margin 0. So if I click over this, I'm not able to see that. Let's refresh that. I'm still not able to see that. Why am I not able to see? Because document dot query selector, and we have targeted this, but it's not working. Okay, let's see why it's not working. All right, so we have added the Navtoggler active class, and then we have targeted this nav. And first of all, class is nav. Okay, class is nav. So let's see if it's working or not. First, let's see. So I can say that console.log and av. Okay, now let's see if it's working. And if I inspect this, let's see if I go to console and I click over this. So you can see that we have the class. We have the class. Okay, okay, okay. We have the class. So after this, we have added the open class to it. Okay, we have added the open class to this nav. So I'll just cut it and I'll paste it here. Okay, so let's see if it's working or not. If I click on this, cannot read properties. Okay, contains. Okay, it's not actually taking this property. Why it's not taking this property? I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. This must be capital L. Okay, now let's see if I click on this. Yeah, now I'm able to see them. Okay, so yeah, just come up here, and if I am here, you can see that we got it. All right, but it's not making it hidden. It's not making it hidden. You can see that we have the height constant. So for making it hidden, you can see that I have removed this attribute. Okay, so just come back here, and now you will see that if I click on this, it's working. Okay, so now you can see that the nav bar is working. If I am on full screen, you can see that it's normal. If I am on normal screen, you can see that it's normal. All right, so I guess the remaining is only the active class. So suppose I am in home page, so I'll add the active class. So for active class, I have passed a color to it. So if any page is active, you can see that I have passed a color here. I have passed a color here. Okay, so suppose I am making a page active. Suppose this home page is active, and I can give it a class as ACTIVE. Okay, I'll save it. Now let's test that again. So now you can see that home is green. Okay, but if I am in this view, you can see now home is green. Okay, so it's working pretty fine. It's working pretty fine, and you can see that our responsive navbar has been created. Okay, so you can create a responsive navbar like this, and you can also add more complexity to it. But the purpose of this project was actually to explain people how you can build this responsive design, and you can apply the same logic on different projects, web development projects. क्या हो गया sir? Okay, we have a doubt here. Sorry, I didn't see that. शुभम सिंह, हाय सर. सर कैसे स्टार्ट करूँ? मैं भी कोडिंग कर रहा, प्लीज़ बताओ सर कैसे स्टार्ट करूँ? सर आपकी क्लासेस का क्या टाइम है? सर देखो ना, सर बताओ ना, बोलो ना सर क्या हो रहा है? Okay, so Shubham, if you are new at coding, so I can suggest that let me just tell you with my what I have done right now. So when I started, My goal wasn't clear. I'm honest that my goal wasn't clear. I didn't know what to do. As you are thinking that I'm a beginner, where should I start? What should I do? So as a beginner, you can pick any language, anything you like. Okay, it's not like that I will only do web development, I'll only do programming, I'll only do DSA. You can pick anything. So if I explain my journey, I did simply start Python first, and for a few months I started learning the basics of Python, not much advanced, not much programming, but yeah, basics of Python. Then I took a little bit overview of HTML and CSS. And then with HTML and CSS, I started learning C++. Okay, so that's up to you if you want to go in web development field. Then now comes the real words. So if you want to start web development, you can start with HTML and CSS and JavaScript. Then you can build projects like this one. Okay, and you can definitely build more projects. I haven't built everything, but you can search the whole internet, YouTube, Geeks for Geeks. All of these platforms have free resources for projects. So you can learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and do as much projects as you want. And then your goal must be to become a full stack developer or any kind of developer. So once you have learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then you can learn React.js. React.js is a JavaScript based framework, and it will help you to learn front end development in a more better way, and it's actually currently being used in many uh, technologies and many companies. By many companies, React.js is being used. So you can learn React.js after that, and for backend you can learn Node.js and MongoDB. So after this you will become a monstack developer, and that's it. That's pretty simple. So just learn these technologies, and you can start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then React.js, then Node.js, MongoDB, and then you can learn other technologies like Angular, Firebase, Next.js, etc., etc. All right, so the field is very vast, but you can start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me first upload the source code on GitHub, then we can end this session. So this is my GitHub profile, so I'll just create a new repository, and this won't work for you guys. Okay, you can't create your own repository unless you have added GitHub authentication to your laptop. All right, so don't try this if you haven't. So js underscore, I'll name it as navbar. Okay, navbar, uh, responsive responsive and then we can create this repository. So let's upload the code. Okay, so before uploading the code, I want one more thing. I want to shift the CSS and JavaScript part to respective pages. So I'll create a new page here and I'll name it as navbar CSS, navbar style dot CSS. Okay, and I'll shift the CSS which I have created for the navbar, and yeah, that's for the navbar. I'll just cut this part. Okay, just cut this part and add this to this CSS part, and then I'm going to import the CSS file. So you can write the link style sheet, and we can name this as dot slash navbar style dot css. Okay, so we have imported the CSS. Again, we are going to create the JavaScript file. So navbar script, script dot js. Okay, navbar script dot js and scr. Okay, so I'll paste the JavaScript here. The JavaScript can be pasted. Just cut this part and paste it here, and I'll just import my file here. Src equals dot slash navbar script dot js. Okay, so my JavaScript is also imported, and now you can see that the project will work. Okay, you can see that the project is working fine. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll upload the source code also. So this is how, if you want to upload source code, that's how you can upload on GitHub, but you first have to set up it GitHub on your laptop or PC. So first of all, we need to write git init, and then we can write git add dot git commit dash m, and this is day one. Okay. Sorry, this is the complete day one. We have completed the Navbar, so I have simply written completed. Okay, completed. Then you can say that the branch is main branch dash main. Okay, git branch main, and then you can add the remote repository. If you don't know how to use GitHub, then you can simply, okay, I haven't copied it properly. So just copy this and paste it. If you don't know how to use GitHub, then you can search on YouTube, and I have also uploaded videos related to GitHub. Okay, so just study how to use GitHub if you want to upload your projects. And now our project is uploaded. If I refresh this page, you can see that the source code is available here. So if you want to use the source code, just visit my profile, and in the repository section, by the way, if you want to visit my profile, you just have to write https://github.com/virajj014. I've shared the link in uh, live chat. Okay, I've shared the link in live chat, so you can visit my GitHub profile. Here in the repository section, you'll get the JS underscore navbar responsive. If somehow you don't find this repository, you can find the repository name here. Okay, JS underscore navbar responsive. You can find it by name. Alright, so we have this repository, the source code is uploaded. I'll just share the source code in the live chat so you can access that. Alright, so before ending this video, I am talking about 21st January and 22nd January, that is tomorrow. In the description of this video, you will find a link, project building sessions coming up, register to our full stack bootcamp courses for free. So we have provided a link, just go to that link and it will take you to this page. So just register for this course and it will take you to this page. It will take you to this page. You just have to enroll and start this course. It will take you to this page and you have to enroll and start this course. And in the live section, you can see that on 21st and 22nd, we have two videos scheduled, part 1 and part 2 of JavaScript weather app using weather API. In this video, you'll learn how to use weather API. And if you don't know how to use API, then definitely it's a must watch. The links will be shared here. The live link to join the Zoom meeting, it will be a Zoom meeting, will be shared here. Right now it's written upcoming, but yeah, it will be shared tomorrow for 21st and 22nd January. If you somehow aren't able to watch these sessions, live sessions on Zoom meetings, you can watch the recordings here. They are also available here. All right, so do check out this course. This is a free course. You can enroll for this one and it will be forever free. But if you want to become a full stack developer, everything is available here. You can see that all the basics, HTML, CSS and JavaScript, React.js, everything is available here, which is required to become a full stack developer. So you don't need to search everything on YouTube or any other platform that how to learn React.js, how to learn this. You can get everything in a specified manner in this course. All right, so do check out this free course and don't forget to watch this live session, which will be on 21st and 22nd January, 6 p.m. onwards. All right, so the source code is shared by me on live chat. If you want to contact me, you can comment on this video below, or you can message me on Instagram at the rate Harshal_3011. If you have any doubts, you can freely ask anything if you want. All right, so let's end this video with a great smile, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one, that is tomorrow on Geeks for Geeks practice platform. The full stack bootcamp link is shared in the description. I'll see you in that Zoom meeting. All right. So tomorrow we will be building what? We'll be building a weather app using weather API. So don't forget to check that out. The links will be uploaded in that course. All right. So see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.